Okay. I'm Antoinette Paluch. I own Obvi Boutique. It's 2 stores right now, one in Conshohocken that's been there for going on 4 years, and one in Westchester that's going on 8 years.
When you started your business, what are some risks that you faced?
I mean, it was a huge financial risk. I had to get a loan out and, make sure that I could pay all the bills that I had. So I would say the biggest risk was financial for me personally and career-wise.
Do you still have those risks?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why you're in business, to make money. So that's a huge risk that you take. And it's also, you're not really relying on anybody else for a paycheck, but only yourself. So it's a huge risk that you take.
What are some problems that you face on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis?
Problems in general, I think I have the most issue with staffing and scheduling and managing. I tend to get very friendly with the people that work with me. What is most hard for me in the business is actually managing people. I just wish that we could all work together and it would be easy breezy, but it's not. You really do need to manage people and figure out a balance between being a manager and being a friend, and that's what's hardest for me.
What has been some of your failures that you've come across, and have you overcome them?
I would say my first failure was when I first started buying for the store. I was buying more for me and not really buying for what my customer wanted. And I dressed a little bit more funky and a little bit more edgy while my customer wasn't really buying that type of thing. So I needed to figure out how to mold the buying into really what the customer wanted, not really what I wanted. And yes, I have definitely overcome that. You always have failures when it comes to buying. You open something up after you've ordered it 5 months ahead and you're like, what was I thinking? But I've definitely overcome and come over that hump, that major hump. How
do you define a successful business?
I would say a successful small business is a business that stays in business. A business that stays on the map for more than a couple years and is known to their customers, and that's what I would think.
In the springtime, you did a lot of buying for the fall merchandise. How did you determine what merchandise to buy?
You rely a lot on, I do a lot of research, so I'm always looking to see what the trends are coming up. And you kind of take those trends that are super trendy and you kind of tone them down a little bit. But you also do a lot of relying on your vendors and your reps for the places that you're buying from to tell you what's doing well, what they think are going to be the projections for the next seasons ahead. But yeah, I would say you really just have to do your research, and then, like I said before, know your customer and know how to kind of tweak that for your own customer.
And how do you decide pricing overall for the store?
Well, there is an industry standard of about half, and then you would add 2%, which is now about 4% for shipping, depending on where it's coming from. There are things like jewelry and smaller accessory items that get a little bit more of a markup because there's so much less money. But I would say I do that, and I always try and keep to the industry standard, but also when I'm buying, I think of my customer and what she or he would like to pay for something. So I try and keep it a little bit more affordable.
What are some factors that you consider overall when buying merchandise?
Like I said, cost is a big deal for me because I think that my customers walk in my store knowing that they can buy something and afford it. Another thing that I keep in mind is just really what seasons are coming and what I think my customers are going to want.
You just brought in the accessory company, Too Chic. What made you start buying from them?
I had a rep come in my store because she thought it would be a good fit, and we actually needed another accessory, gifty type vendor to kind of complement another one that we carry, Mud Pie. So we made an appointment, and she came in, and it was the perfect price point. It all looked like it fit our store and our customers, so we went with it.
And are those products selling?
They're doing actually very well. We've had to reorder 2 of the items that we've gotten there multiple times, so yes, they're doing very well.
Good. Now that you're closing the Westchester location, what made you come to that conclusion or decide on that idea?
That was really a personal decision because I kind of am moving into a different point in my life. I'm getting married, hopefully having kids at some point, and it's just easier on me to have 2 stores. I mean, 1 store. When I was younger, I could kind of be married to the stores, and I was here all the time, and my life was devoted to the stores, and now things are kind of shifting for me personally, so I had to choose a store to shut down, and it was Westchester.
Now, switching gears a little bit, you've never had an intern in your store before. So what made you decide on bringing an intern in?
I always like to try new things, and I kind of feel like I'd like to learn from things. It was something that was a little bit scary for me before because it's a lot of work on my end too. But I kind of figured I would take a stab at it because I always, like I said, want to learn new things and want to do new things, and so I figured I would give it a try.
And do you plan on bringing interns in the store in the future?
I do. I think it's been really very successful, and I've actually learned a lot from it, and it kind of lights a fire under my bum, so I actually get things done, and I really have enjoyed it because I think that it kind of forces me to do what I need to do and not really slack on things. So yeah, I would absolutely bring another intern back in.
Great. Thank you, Antoinette, for your time.
Okay. Thank you.